There are all sorts of signs and symbols that pop up just once a year during the holidays. Some stick with us a little longer. One local icon, Mr. Bingle, is definitely naturally Nawlins. Tonight, Frank Davis meets a woman who's collected just about every bit of Bingle she can.
Ho, 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 boys and girls. Guess what we're going to talk about on this edition of Naturally Nawlins? You got any idea? If you said Mr. Bingle, you're 100% correct. Now, maybe you've forgotten some of the things there is to remember about Mr. Bingle, but I'll tell you one thing, Lauren Brown sure hasn't.
You see that picture over there? That is a picture of Emil Allen, who started working for Maison Blanche in 1937. And in 1946, he went up to Chicago, and he got really inspired by the beautiful winter wonderland scenes that he saw up there. So he said, well, you know, I want to create a little character that is ours, a unique character that's our own. So he came back down here and he wanted it to be a snowman with wings that could fly and be real magical. And originally he was called the Snow Doll. And he presented him to the president of the store, and he said, well, I want to have MB in the name, and I wanted to rhyme with jingle, so that's how Mr. Bingle came about.
When did Oscar Eisentraut get into the picture?
Okay, after he developed the character, and he wanted to have windows displays and puppet shows for Christmas that people could come see, so he had to find a puppeteer. So he found Edwin H. Harmon Oscar. They called him Oscar Eisentraut. He worked on Bourbon Street with his little puppet shows, and he found him, and they got together and they put it together. Their ideas together. So
Eisentraut became not only the puppeteer, the movement behind Bingle, but he also became the voice?
He was the voice and the movement and the spirit.
What year was this?
It started in 1947. 1947. Actually, Mr. Bingle is 56 years old this year. This is what he looked like. He had green burlap wings, gauzy little wings, and of course his ice cream cone hat. He originally had little cotton eyes and cotton nose, and then he graduated to these silver metal eyes. And this is his original bell, and that's what he looked like. Very different.
And this little doll is like 57 years old.
This is probably from the late 40s, early 50s.
In the late 80s and early 90s, the dolls were made in China. And there was a breakdown in communication, and somebody decided that he should have had black eyes and black nose. Well, when all these thousands of dolls arrived in New Orleans, Maison Blanche said, no. Send them all back. Well, guess what? Fortunately, a few of them never made the return trip. And boy, are they collector's items. The black-eyed, black-nosed Bingle.
Actually, he was also up in Memphis, Tennessee. They had their own puppet show, window displays, and TV show there, too.
Get out. You kidding me, right?
Yeah, no. Because that Maison Blanche and a store called Lowenstein's, they were owned by the same company, so they used Mr. Bingle. And Mr. Bingle's been all over. I mean, Mr. Bingle's been to the Citrus Bowl in Florida, and he's been to the White House. I don't know what he went up to the White House for, but he's been up to the White House. He used to make frequent trips every year to Children's Hospital, Tulane, Kingsley House. He's been all over. I mean, just spreading good cheer and messages to children and adults alike.
You know, there is no way we can give you the whole Mr. Bingle story and all the trivia in just a few minutes. This is why you really need to go to the website. You go to MrBingleFans.com. Just imagine yourself on Canal Street in front of the window. Listen, here was the original show. You're a Bingle addict, right?
I'm a bonkers for Bingle. I'm bonkers for Bingle. 56 years, 56 Bingles.
A different one every year?
Every year.
You think you got them all?
No, I don't have them all, but I'm looking. I mean, this was a time it's like the anticipation of Christmas, the awe of Christmas. And that's what he represented. That's Mr. Bingle. in essence.
So, Lauren, when are you going to quit collecting all these things?
What, are you nuts?
Never mind. So I guess then the tradition is going to go on to your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids and their kids. Because you know what the bottom line is? It can't be naturally Nawlins without Mr. Bingle at Christmas. I'm Frank Davis for Channel 4 Eyewitness News. Let's do it. Ready? Jingle, jangle, jingle. Here comes Mr. Bingle with another message from Kris Kringle. Time to start the Christmas season. Maison Blanche makes Christmas pleasing. Gifts galore for me to see.